Shalom, hello everybody, Shalom from Jerusalem. My name is Monica Rabotnikov and I'm a licensed tour guide in Israel. I live in Jerusalem for 38 years and in fact you can feel from my accent that I'm not Israeli. And you see that I'm not 38. So I was born in Argentina and made Aliyah because I felt Israel is my true home. After many jobs, the life led me to my real passion, guiding tourists all around Israel, especially in my beloved Jerusalem. We can see on my back the light train that is a unique transport that exists only in Jerusalem for about 10 years, and it crosses all the way Jerusalem. It's very fast and it's a very convenient way of moving around Jerusalem. Together with the Sharon and Maya from Israeli Box, we join hands for this online project. We're going to make 12 chapters, 12 episodes as the 12 tribes about Jerusalem. Every week, a different place. So let's start our journey. Let's take the light train and get off in City Hall Station, that is the closest stop to Jaffa Gate in the old city. Let's go. Come after me. Thank you. Okay, so we got in, we punched in, and as you see, it's not that crowded. And this is thanks to the COVID-19, the coronavirus pandemic broke into our lives like 2.5 months, almost 3 months ago. And unfortunately, it doesn't allow you to come to here. So with this Israeli Box, we decided to bring Israel to you. We can see now the walls of the old city. We are getting closer. Very soon we're going to get off the train. We see this marvelous wall that exists for 600 years since the Ottoman time, built by Suleiman the Great between 1536 and 1542. Well, we are standing in a crucial junction. This junction, we can see on our right a round balcony with signs of bullets on it. This is part of the city hall today, but these bullets are from the different wars, especially 48 and 67. And to our left, we can see this other road. This used to be the border between Israel and Jordan from 1948, the Independence War, and 1967, the 6 Days War. Also, this junction is crucial because we can see the physical division in Jerusalem that is between the old city and the new city. These walls we see ahead, that we saw by the train as well, are the walls who divide the city in old and modern city. So in fact, we have a physical division, the walls, and a virtual one, that is the line that divided Jerusalem for 19 years when the Jordanian kingdom conquered the old city of Jerusalem and the eastern part. Here we can see from the other side the round building. Up there also General Allenby stood up before entering Jerusalem and conquering it from the Ottomans. Here we have a sign, a pretty new one, a couple of years. I love Jerusalem. I would answer, me too. JLM is Jerusalem. If we look to our right, we can see King David's Hotel, and on his right, a YMCA building. King David's Hotel was built in the British time by the British, and it has a very special story we will tell you when we will get there in a further chapter. Right in front of us, we can see Jaffa Gate, that is the most popular and crowded one. Not these days, the coronavirus days, but usually we can start seeing some tourists, maybe local tourists, gathering by it, maybe to enter the city. Unfortunately, most of the shops are closed today. These days, let's hope they will open back soon. Jerusalem has about 70 different names. And you could ask why a city can have so many names. We hear about City of David, we hear about El-Quds, Zion, Jerusalem, of course, and many, many others. That is because this city is the holiest for Jewish and Christians, and the third for Muslims, after Mecca and Medina. So it makes it very popular to everybody all over the world. Not only people living here, not only Jews. The first time we hear about Jerusalem is in the 19th century BC over some Egyptian scripts. But in fact, for Jews, Jerusalem became famous, a celeb, since King David's time, when he bought from the Jebusians in the 11th century BC a piece of land and called it the eternal capital of the Jewish people. You also can see here many flags waving. That's why I will tell you very soon. Today is Jerusalem Day, Yom Yerushalayim. What do we celebrate this day, you may ask? We celebrate the reunification of Eastern and Western Jerusalem that were apart from the Independence War 1948 until the 6 Days War, when the IDF, Israel Defense Force, reconquered the old city and the eastern part. I hope you can see the windmill there, a white windmill between the trees. This windmill is Moses Montefiore windmill. Montefiore, until 1860, when you spoke about Jerusalem, you meant what we see today as the old city. There was nothing outside the walls. Only in 1860, Moses Montefiore bought a piece of land from the Ottomans and built up the first neighborhood outside the walls called Mishkenot Sha'ananim. We will step in just for a little glance at the old city. Yes, because this is going to be our next chapter, going back in time. As you can see, the COVID-19 makes its way to the old city, and we see very few people walking around. So until 1860, that Moses Montefiore built a neighborhood outside, in this Jerusalem were living about 60,000 people. It was very crowded. If you imagine that this place is a square kilometer, about 3,281 square feet. So it's a very little place for so many people. So many of them died, and that's why Moses Montefiore decided to let the people go outside the walls. At the beginning, they didn't want to because the walls made them feel safe. And that's why 3 years later, the Jaffa Gate was open at nights as well. The first gate to stay open at night. Today, the Jerusalem population is about 900,000 inhabitants. What it makes it the major city in Israel. And this demographic fact is one of the reasons that Jerusalem was chosen as the capital of Israel. It's the city with the most inhabitants. Tel Aviv is only 450,000, meaning half of it. Well, this first chapter, the introduction to Jerusalem, came to an end, but it's not the final end. We will meet again next week, same channel, hand by hand with Sharon and Maya from Israeli Box, to walk into the old city and go back in time for 3,000 years. So, Yom Yerushalayim Sameach, and see you next week. Bye!